Now, I wanted to make this video soon after Donald Trump met with the 5 presidents from Africa a little while ago. You know that incident with the president of Liberia when Donald Trump complimented his English. I wanted to make this video soon after that, and I thought, you know what, let me not. But after thinking about it some more, I decided I'm going to make the video. Now, this video is a little bit of a rant, so fair warning. So anyway, after Donald Trump made these remarks to the president of Liberia, there was an outrage. I mean, a lot of people came out giving their opinions, criticizing Donald Trump for not recognizing the fact that English is the official language of Liberia. And if you know the history of Liberia, how Liberia came to be in the first place, then you'll understand. But I'm not here to go into the history because I listened to a lot of videos, people reacting to this situation, and most people seem to be focusing on the fact that English is the official language of Liberia. But according to my opinion, the way I look at this situation, that statement is not only awkward, or it is not just exposing Donald Trump as being ignorant of Liberia's history. To me, the major issue is, first of all, it is condescending, and the fact that Donald Trump can put the important issues aside and say that to African leaders, to me, that is quite telling. It shows a couple of things. First of all, he's treating African leaders like children.
Damn.
Secondly, it reflects low expectations or how little Trump thinks of African leaders. Now, to be fair and for the sake of balance, Trump doesn't just humiliate African leaders.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now.
The president has kicked Zelensky out of the White House.
However, he seems to humiliate African leaders the most. I mean, from where I'm sitting. Let's take events of May 2025 when Cyril Ramaphosa went to the Oval Office. We know how that played out. It was more of a spectacle rather than diplomacy. To me, it is looking like a deliberate slap at dignity when it comes to these African leaders. And let us not forget that country's comment from 2018 or his attempt to push certain type of narratives when it comes to Africa. And also recently, the threats to ban African countries, the threat to slash aid to Africa, which I'm in favor of, by the way, because I don't think that aid to Africa is doing us any favors. So as you can see, there is a pattern here. There is a trend. To me, this is not just about politics. It's about a pattern of diminishing African leadership. This is about power. This is about the demonstration of power. And I'm saying our African presidents need to feel the heat, because change, real change, doesn't come from comfort zones. And unfortunately, from where I'm sitting, I don't feel that our African leaders actively care. I know they care. To some degree, they care. But I'm using the word actively. I'm underlining actively. I don't feel that they actively care about the continent as a whole. I don't feel that they do. And I also feel that our African leaders do not actively care, not about the people, the Africans living abroad, the Africans who are suffering abroad, who are feeling hopeless and helpless in the foreign countries. Because at the moment, there's a lot that is happening that is affecting African immigrants across the globe. Let's take United States, for instance. The raids, I mean, they were not targeting Africans per se. However, there is talk that Trump is planning to extend those deportations to legal migrants. I know people like to be dramatic, but we have seen weird things come to fruition. And also, ICE issued a July 9 memo allowing legal migrants to be removed to third world countries with as little as 6 hours notice. I mean, how crazy is that? And already 5 individuals have been deported back to Eswatini. And among these deportees are dangerous criminals that are not even from Africa. They've been sent to Eswatini, a small country, and now there are concerns when it comes to security, when it comes to capacity. And from the article that I read, I learned that this country accepted these deportees, dangerous criminals, because it needs the money. So this is what we are seeing happening on the African continent, as if we don't have enough problems. Going back to the suffering of Africans abroad, looking at the UK clampdown, my own backyard. I mean, do I need to say more? We know about the white paper on immigration that was published recently, and we know about the changes that have been proposed, and we know about the changes that are already being implemented, how life is becoming difficult for the African immigrant. And I'm saying Do our African leaders even care? I know they care to some degree, but how much do they care about their people? How much do they care about the continent as a whole? The reason I'm leaning towards the fact that they don't care that much is the fact that I haven't seen that many African leaders come out in the public criticizing some of these deportation deals or deportation orders. I haven't seen that. Instead, they are accepting money in exchange for human cargo. I'm not seeing any coordinated response from Africa. For example, the African Union responding or protesting. I'm not seeing that. Instead, our African presidents are making bilateral agreements. They are signing deals behind the scenes, not really coming together as a bloc to protect the dignity of Africa and its people. Why is it that our African leaders are not coming together to reject some of these deals with clarity and solidarity? Where is the outrage? I'm not seeing stronger diplomatic responses to some of the things that happens to Africans in the diaspora. I'm not seeing that. I mean, I could give examples, but if the same thing happens to the citizens of other countries, guess what? Those governments, their governments, would raise hell. I mean, you will know about it. You will know exactly what they're doing about it, and you will get to see the results as well. Why not us? Why don't our African leaders do the same? And here's something that pains me, because with all these things happening, the global shift, how life is becoming difficult for Africans scattered abroad, what I want to know is, are our African leaders doing something to make sure that the deportees, when they come back home, they're able to reintegrate comfortably into the society? Are there programs, reintegration programs taking place? Because the reason a lot of African immigrants scattered abroad feel helpless and hopeless is the fact that they don't think that when and if they go back home, they can make it. They don't have that confidence. And if they see, I mean, this is how I'm looking at things. If they see that something is being done, there are active programs happening to help Africans come back home, I feel that that will encourage a lot of people. I know there are people who have said in the comment section that, oh, Africa has got enough people there already. We don't need Africans who have gone abroad. Yeah, those are things that we say to make ourselves feel better, because those Africans who are still in Africa right now, despite these changes that I keep going on about, they are still looking for ways to migrate. They want to leave Africa. That is the sad part. Africa is still experiencing brain drain, and it will continue to do so until we feel the heat, until something gives. Because the thing is, people want to stay in Africa, but they need to have a reason to say. Because at the end of the day, people need to eat as well. And also, for the sake of balance, let me say this. There are things that our African leaders get right. However, I'm not seeing enough of it, especially given how the world is changing, how narratives are shaping us as people, as Africans, as people of the world. Narratives are powerful. So when some things are coming to light, my wish is to see a more coordinated effort from African leaders, a more powerful response, a response that is clear and loud, because the person who owns the narrative wins. So anyway, what I'm really saying is that Africa doesn't need more embarrassment. We don't need that. We are good. Honestly, we are good. What we need right now is accountability. We need to take actions. We need to stop blaming other people for our mistakes. We need to start asking tough questions directed to our leaders. Questions such as, why are they silent when their people are being mistreated abroad? Why do they accept deals that dump the world's problems on African soil? Why do they keep us dependent instead of investing in education, healthcare, and innovation that keep our talent home? Why is that not happening? This is what we need to ask. I don't know what you think about everything I've said in this video. As always, you know what to do in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.